Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bad Moon's Orbit. I am, as always, your Sonari Enlightener, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian Smart of the Ankh-Morpork City Watch.
Ooh.
I've been rereading Discworld.
Hell yeah. Always a good time. Always a good time to do it as well.
Never a bad time
Yes.
to reread Discworld.
Correct. Yeah, welcome.
Hey, real quick, how many of you would also listen to a podcast where we talk about the Discworld books? Just sound off in the comments. Whatever platform you listen on. Just doing a head count.
Yeah.
Not saying we would stop doing this, but in
No.
addition to, would that be something you nerds would be into?
Yeah.
I feel like there's an overlap.
Yes.
This is a British company. Surely
Yeah.
there's an overlap.
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! As if you're listening to this, it's our first episode back from hiatus. Thank you so much for sticking with us through taking our holiday break, which I can say with confidence because if you didn't, you're not hearing this. So,
Or if you're binging it later.
yeah, there you go.
didn't have the
Yeah,
hiatus. Isn't that always a
absolutely.
pleasure?
Isn't that a joy? Yeah.
Dalton and I just watched Hell of a Boss.
Yep.
Didn't have to wait months between episodes.
Correct.
Now here we are.
Wonderful. I'm currently in the process of waiting for more Amazing Digital Circus episodes to come out because those are also like a once every 4 months affair.
And you were trying to trick me into watching that show.
It's really good.
Like, gasp.
But today we are talking about the Lumineth Realm Lords,
Yes.
a fan favorite faction. These are one of our elf factions. These are the Children of Teclis, the proper, like, true Children of Teclis, so to speak. Children of Teclis is an often, like, as with many things with elves, duality is a theme. The Children of Teclis are the Lumineth and the Ideneth. The Ideneth represent his callousness, and the Lumineth represent, initially, they represent his, like, obsession. And I think the thing I like about Lumineth is that they are...
Hold on, but before we get too deep into that,
absolutely.
Dalton, do you have any gaming-related things that we want to shout out for the new year?
Yeah, let's see. I can do a quick... my favorite games of the last year. That feels like a good, like, coming back from New Year thing. In no particular order, because I don't have the bandwidth to do that real quick right now. And this is just going to sound like everybody else's, because it's Hollow Knight Silksong, Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Hades 2, Pokemon Legends ZA. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I know there's more. It's just my brain doesn't work well.
There was a lot of good games that came out last year.
There was a lot of great games that came out last year. Absolutely. I'm sure I'll think of more and just spout them in the middle of the episode. Yeah,
Perfect.
Absolutely. Something like crazy, probably, that I just don't think of until it comes up. Megabunk was good.
Nice.
I enjoyed Megabunk quite a bit. Not a very deep game, but a very entertaining game.
That can be, honestly, sometimes for a game that can be enough.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, how about you, Darren? Do you have anything to...
Yeah, I want to shout you out.
Oh.
Over some backstory for the dear listeners. Over on my other podcast, Muse and Mythology, one of my other podcasts, Muse and Mythology, every year for Christmas time, me and my co-host and brother DJ talk about adaptations of A Christmas Carol. Why? Don't worry about it. But this year we found a one-shot themed to A Christmas Carol for 5th edition D&D. And I was like, no, that'd be crazy. Who would even run it? And Dalton's sitting right there being like, well, because I'm not going to ask. Like, that'd be overstep. And Dalton's like, I would run it. And I'm like, you would be willing to run a Christmas Carol themed one-shot for me and DJ for our podcast? What? But it was super fun. Yeah. I mean, the story itself could have been better Christmas Carol themed wise, but that was no fault of Dalton. But it was super fun. DJ played the Rat King from the Nutcracker. I was a dragonborn bard named Terry, a direct reference to the Candle Knights bit from the McElroy Family podcast, who sang Christmas carols to use their magics. And then our friend Lucy from one of my other podcasts came along, also of our friendship, was a wizard who was Topper, the penguin from the Rankin Bass Santa Claus is Coming to Town special. And it was super fun. And I just want to shout out Dalton for doing that, because it also resulted in a very fun Muse Miss, that's what we call it when we do this thing, episode. So, and I hadn't played a tabletop game in a hot second. Big chunk of time since I was rolling some dice. So it was a fun time, and thank you again for that.
Of course. I had a ton of fun running. I had a ton of fun playing with y'all. It really was a Darian podcast cinematic universe, like, crossover, wasn't it? Yeah.
Every podcast I'm actively a part of was there participating in that. Didn't even think of that. I should have have made Lucy stay to record the episode. That would have been so funny. Nah, she was done.
Yeah.
We've used up all the introverts.
It's true. It's true.
Her social battery was at 0 and she was going to go home.
Yep. Just a lovely year for games. Overall, 2025.
Games are great.
Yeah, games are great.
Anything you're looking forward to in 2026?
Oh, that's a great... I don't know if it's going to come out in 2026, but I back Apocalypse World Burned Over.
Oh,
the third edition of Apocalypse World. That's going to be super interesting. What's some other stuff that I've seen and I'm thinking about? There's a Warhammer game coming out that I'm not like super excited for, just because it doesn't seem like it's... I don't know. It's are you familiar at all with the game Vampire Survivors?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a Vampire Survivors
cool.
Which could be interesting. Yeah. Could be interesting. Could be fun. It's just not like my most like beloved genre of game, so I'll probably buy and play it, but it's not. Yeah.
DJ likes those. We might be able to get him to be like, play this. If I am listen, I know what I'm familiar with the phrase Vampire Survivors, and I understand that it is a video game. Now, if you showed it to me, would I recognize it? I think I would, but I'm not positive. I could be thinking of the wrong thing.
Megabunk is also a Vampire Survivors.
Nice. Okay, I think I am right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can I share my thing I'm excited for?
Yes,
for 2026 please. That is related to our podcast?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to go to the UK.
Yeah.
And I'm going to visit the original Warhammer store.
Yeah.
And also the bar that's connected to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Warhammer World in Nottingham? I'm pretty sure Warhammer.
We looked it up.
Yeah, that's right.
It's in my list of things to do while on my trip.
Nice.
Google Doc.
And Bugman's Brewery connected to it. But yeah, that's going to be super exciting. Obviously not the main point of your trip, but it'll be,
I was like, well, what are things I could do? And I was like, you could go to the Warhammer store. It's British. And I'm like, it is British, right?
Hell yeah.
So, big year.
Yeah, big year. We're going to hit 40,000 downloads this year.
Oh, so we have to do the thing.
Almost for certain, yes. So we're going to do it. I'm going to set the expectations for that now. Once we hit 40,000 downloads, we're going to release a special 40K episode. My promises for that are that I'm not going to do basically any research for it, but double check things I already know. But also,
what if I did research for it?
That would be fun.
Okay.
My intent is that it would be very easy for me to just complain about 40K.
We're not going to do that. That'd be mean.
Exactly. And I don't want to do that. It wouldn't make good listening. It wouldn't be like the vibe we're bringing to it. So my intent was just to focus on the things that I like about 40K, because there are things there. And so I think that'll be a fun episode. But yeah, inversion.
I would like to go down a weird lore rabbit hole just to be like,
yes.
find things. Because I also fear that I would also just be like very skeptical for the general like grimdark elements of it. Feels like a lot of people who engage with this miss some of the more interesting elements of it, and thus it gets overlooked. And often some of the most negative interactions I have had regarding Warhammer seem to be coming from individuals who have a certain perception of this game that they actually do play, and then bringing that over here to our thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of... And so I don't want to bring that vibe to, like, our episode about Thing, because it's not meant to, like, be mean.
No,
or dunk on. It's just, like, a funny, hey, this thing we do is associated with this number.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be a delight?
Yes.
So that's why I think me doing research, which is a thing I was promised I would never have to do for this podcast, would be a fun exercise for me to bring something to the table that's not just scoff.
Yeah.
Grimdark scoff.
Yes.
That's no fun. We don't need... Listen, I'll throw that in as bits. It's like a salt. It's like a little seasoning.
Yeah, absolutely.
For flavor, but it can't be the whole thing.
Listen, we talk about things that are stupid in Age of Sigmar all the time.
Yeah! I hate every dwarf name. Most dwarf names.
Oh,
not all dwarf names. No, I think I've actually liked most of the dwarf names.
That's fair.
I just like a lot of names and Teclis entirely.
And on that note, let's talk about Teclis.
No! I was tricked for the new year!
Teclis and the Lumineth Realm Lords. The Lumineth are, like I said, Teclis is involved in the creation of the Ideneth and Lumineth, but the Lumineth are certainly where Teclis' heart lays now. They are not technically like wholly his faction. It is the faction between him and his brother. The Lumineth are like the collaborative project between the two of them. Yeah.
It's like me and JJ's podcast.
Yeah. And we're going to see, like I said, elves broadly like duality. Duality tends to like just express itself within elves overall, but we're really going to see that in the Lumineth.
Okay.
If anything happens in the Lumineth, it has a counterpart that's the other like side of it.
Ooh,
like they just absolutely love that. So, but if we're going to talk about the Lumineth, we should recap a little bit of like elf history, just because it's been a couple months since we've recorded. It's been a couple months since you've heard our podcast, and it's been a year plus since we talked about like Hysh and like.
Can I try, knowing full well I'm going to get like a C on this assignment that I'm doing right now? Okay. So, we had the old world, and there were elves, and there's our two elf brothers.
Yes,
Teclis and Tyrion. Hey, and Teclis is our brainy boy.
Yes,
and Tyrion was our knight in shining armor boy, basically quarterback. We described him as the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. And then everything with the old world happened, which I don't need to get into because it's not what our podcast is about. We had episodes about it, but now we're here and they're both gods.
Yes.
Tyrion cannot see.
Yes.
Okay, Teclis is his eyes, but not really?
Yes.
Or am I thinking the dragon?
No, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Tyrion hasn't done much recently.
Correct.
Okay. Meanwhile, Teclis, along with our dark elf friends, who is Marathi and
Malarian.
Yes, it's like malaria. It's like mosquito because they changed his name.
Yep.
They're all like, hey, we can get elf souls.
Yeah.
So they're like, great, we're going to do that. And then the first experiment went super bad, and that's where we got our fish elves, the Ideneth.
Yes.
And Teclis is like, well, gotta scrap this. And they were like, fuck no. So they bailed. And then he tried again, and that's how we have the Lumineth. And he's like, great. Don't have to worry about chaos, except when you build this ladder of perfection and make everybody feel like they're not good enough, that can lead to like the intense need to overachieve and overindulge, and that's why we have Slaanesh.
Yep.
And there is a moon creature and a sun creature?
Yeah. There's a moon creature for sure, and there's we'll talk about the sun creature a little bit.
It's these like theorizing that if Teclis has our moon guy, Tyrion will probably have the sun one, but Tyrion hasn't been around very much.
Yes.
Cool.
The moon guy is named Selenar, and we don't have like a sun spirit yet, but Tyrion is associated with the sun. He has like a bunch of sun imagery in his stuff, and a different god beast in a different part of the world called the Phoenix, like the original Phoenix, was rescued from destruction by a couple of Lumineth. And so we don't have anything pointing to that yet, but that's my personal like, they're going to take like the Phoenix was killed and was like regenerating. They took its like cinders back to Hysh, and that's it's going to regenerate into like a sun spirit and be.
And Hysh is the realm of light. That's essentially the sun for all of the realms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And Teclis killed the dwarf goddess, right? To bring Tyrion back?
No. Little bit mixed in.
Okay.
Because
Tyrion did die. This is the old world stuff that I said I was going to get into.
Yeah.
But then I feel like this might come up here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, no, I'm coming back around to it.
Yes. Tyrion died during the old end times. Teclis did a couple of shitty things during the end times.
Yes.
Because the big one is that the ritual to resurrect Nagash, right, needed a bunch of powerful wizards. One of those wizards was Tyrion's daughter.
And he killed her to prevent that from happening.
Yes.
Yep.
He let her.
Because she has a curse.
Yes, because she has the curse of Cain, which both the brothers have as well. And so that weakened Nagash when he came back because he got like afflicted with the bad parts of the curse of Cain. That's shitty thing one. Shitty thing two is after Tyrion died, Teclis like just figured that they could not do that without him, and so he stole the flame of Ulrich, which was the only thing like binding Ulrich, who was Sigmar's god in life.
That's right. Yes. It was Sigmar's god.
Yes. He stole the flame of Ulrich and used it to raise Tyrion from the dead, which functionally killed Ulrich.
That's
it's complicated with gods.
A god who was important. I mean,
yes.
We're all gods, but like one who was narratively important.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but that's almost exactly like the.
What grade did you give me?
A-. Hey! Like absolutely, you got a ton of it right. There's just a couple of things I want to like accentuate and or correct because something I said in the Hysh episode that I think I've corrected this in a previous episode, but I want to circle back on it because it's narratively and thematically important. Tyrion, I think in the original Hysh episode I said that Tyrion came to blind, but that's not what happened. Tyrion awoke first as a god, and he tried to like survey all of Hysh, and he wandered too close to the edge of Hysh, and it being the realm of light, the edge of the realm is where the magic gets the most unstable. He was blinded by the pure light magic of Hysh.
That's what you can't be looking at the sun.
No, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And so then when Teclis came to, they were bonded together. Tyrion can see through Teclis's eyes. It's an intentional inversion of their relationship in the old world, where Teclis was infirm. He had to take like alchemical like potions that he designed to be able to even just like walk. And so Tyrion for a long time was his like legs was his like aid functioning in the material world, while Teclis was like doing the more high-minded philosophical stuff. And so now that's been inverted, where Teclis can operate more easily in the mortal world because of his like he has his vision, and Tyrion has not quite like stepped into like an academic role, but he has stepped into a little bit of a philosophical role. And we'll see that expressed in how they've like influenced the Lumineth as well. The other thing you mentioned, the Teclian ladder, the like steps that Teclis gave all the Lumineth of like, here's all the things you have to do to be perfect. The thing that always happens when you encourage people to constantly like do more happened where they
not just do more, but like try to aim for perfection.
Yeah.
Because growth is one thing.
Growth is good, but infinite growth is like bad.
Or like growth with the goal, with an in-game goal,
yes,
right? Like that. The idea is if you would do enough, you will be perfect. It's like that's not.
No.
That's how you raise kids with trauma.
Yes.
That's how you traumatize your kids.
It's basically what happened. Like they hit all the easy steps, and then the steps that were harder were too hard, so they turned to focusing on being better than the people around them. They like got very individualistic, and eventually that manifested in creating these huge like terrible spells and these world-ending magical like implements and stuff. Yeah, all the big magical WMDs that the expression of perfection, the massive like coalescence of magic in like one area, all that stuff contributed to what the Lumineth refer to as the spire. Well, they have an elvish name for it, but everyone else calls it the spirefall because just literally a bunch of like important wizards' towers were destroyed in it.
No.
But also, narratively, thematically.
I love a wizard's tower.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Hysh is dotted with them because wizards.
I think they look cool too. They're like real ornate and have like very distinct architecture choices. Yes. Yeah, I bet that looks cool. I can find a picture
of some. Yeah. Like a landscape of Hysh. But yeah, eventually all that, the expression of perfectionism, the expression of excess, burst open the way for... Oh, cool, yes. Yeah. Burst open the way for Slaanesh to enter the world, or Slaanesh's demons to enter the world. Because prior to Slaanesh's demons entering the world, right, that's when the Elven gods work together to capture Slaanesh, bind them in Ulgish.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah. That was kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Slaanesh is bound in Ulgish, but Slaanesh's demons rampage across Hysh. The existing like Lumineth structures in society and that kind of thing all kind of collapse during the Spirefall.
Yeah, that makes sense. That feels like that's what would happen in an event called Spirefall.
Yeah, and then the fallout of the Spirefall is what shapes the Lumineth today. Like every... Also, I should mention at the top, this is relatively close to the top. This episode is going to be a two-parter as well. I started writing it. Yeah, surprise. I started writing it, and then there's just so much like Lumineth stuff that I figured it'd be better to do as two episodes. So this one's going to come across a little bit like the Hellsmiths episode, where this episode is going to be like all the broad Lumineth stuff, and then we'll get into the temples a little bit. And then the second episode is just going to be the great nations of Hysh and our famous faces, because there's a lot of both.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Everything we talk about with the Lumineth, all of the, like I said, we're going to talk about the temples in this episode, and then we'll talk about our famous faces. We'll talk about our great nations. All of them are existing in a place where they are responding to what happened in the Spirefall. Right. Okay. Every Lumineth is like extremely aware of what happened. They're extremely aware of the role that they played in doing that, and they are attempting to atone for it. And the shape that takes is very different amongst each individual like nation and social class and like even individual.
That makes sense.
But it has like fully reshaped kind of the Lumineth consciousness, this like grand acceptance of like, we fucked up and here's how we're doing different now.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, right.
The one thing I can think that might be a tower is like this thing here.
Yeah, that's the city of Settlers Gain. Okay. And so it's got the academies of Lumineth are called White Towers. And so it's got a big white tower in the middle.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Settlers Gain is one of the few multi-faction cities on Hysh.
Nice.
Most of Hysh is like all Lumineth, but Settlers Gain is located in almost the exact center of Hysh. And it's got a thriving like human dwarf, like even ogre population where people come to learn from the Lumineth. Lumineth, as we know, Hysh is the realm of light. the realms influence their the people who live on them within their domain. And so Hysh enlightens and uplifts the people who live there. Cool. Everything on Hysh is a puzzle. Like,
oh no, let's go.
Just like walking along the riverbank in Hysh, you'll see stones like forming into the shape of like a escape room puzzle, or like patterns in the clouds. Like
just acting like, hey, dinner is at 6. Where are you? And it's like, I can't solve the river puzzle. What do you mean you can't solve the river puzzle? I can't solve it. Like, we did it yesterday. It's different now.
Hysh,
eat with just order my usual. I'll try to be there.
Hysh, the realm, just loves like people thinking about stuff. It's the realm of enlightenment.
I'm too hungry to think about this.
No, absolutely. Yes. Coming from the Spirefall, that's the point where they become like, they're called Lumineth on both sides of the Spirefall, but the Lumineth that like exist in the game, that have models and stuff, and that we know into the Age of Sigmar are post Spirefall. It was a huge shift for them. The biggest like philosophical point of which is, if the pre-Spirefall like Lumineth were individualistic, they were, I personally must achieve perfection by following the Teclian ladder, and then if everybody does that, it'll like everything will work out fine. We just have to assume that every single individual will always do the right thing for everybody.
Oh, no!
Yeah, right. Is the issue. Then post-Spirefall, the Lumineth are very collectivist. They're very everybody needs to work together towards a goal. And what I think is interesting about that in this context is that the game avoids, the narrative, the lore avoids framing that as a strictly like good and bad relationship.
Interesting.
Like, there are times when individualism is called for. There are times when it is beneficial, and there are times when collectivism is like beneficial. And regardless of personal bias, there are ways that collectivism can be weaponized to like suppress the individual. Absolutely. And I think that's...
Or I imagine certain groups of individuals.
Yes, absolutely. You're getting on it. And that's what we see in the Lumineth lore, where they're like, oh, we fucked up, like we did a bad thing, and this was the like source and cause of that thing. So we're going to do the other thing so hard in the opposite direction. Yes. And there's still a little bit of the great sin of elves is arrogance.
Of course it is. They're elves.
Yes. And that's what we see, is that like, I like it. Again, it's duality. I like the storytelling here of, there's just this constant thread throughout all the writing in the battle tome from like an elvish perspective, especially, of this like, of course we messed up in the past, but now we know the right way and we're going to do it perfect because we're elves and we can do it the right way.
Oh, no.
And like, if anyone can like atone for the bad thing we did, it's us, because we're really good and we can do it. And that's, like I said, that's kind of the mindset that got them here, of like, we just have to be perfect and do it. But also the Lumineth do a remarkable amount of good under that like paradigm, right? Like, they're out here being like, yes, of course we can fix this problem. We're the Lumineth. And then they fix problems.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so
I can see that confidence would be like justified almost. Yeah.
Like I said, it's an interesting... That's what I like about the even the like good guy coded factions in Age of Sigmar. It's never like an evil Superman thing where it's like, oh, this good thing is actually bad. It's just like, no, people aren't wholly one thing or the other. A person who has good instincts and habits can still do bad, and vice versa. And that's the complexity of people, and that's the complexity of large scale philosophical like underpinnings behind like society and cultural groups and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. We're 30 minutes into this episode and I haven't talked about a single elf yet. So let's talk about the name a little bit. Lumineth is easy. Lumineth means people of light in Elvish. It's like Ideneth, people of like isolation. Sylvaneth, the people of the forest. Like, it's just Neth, the Elvish word for people, and Lumen, right?
Perfect. Yeah,
exactly. Realm Lord was like an idea that was bandied about pre-Spirefall, where it was used as in that very kind of regressive, like, this land is our birthright, we're the lords of this realm, we can do what we will with it because it belongs to us. Yes, absolutely. And post-Spirefall...
That's crazy, because y'all aren't even naturally here.
Right. It's Manifest Destiny.
It's even more Manifest Destiny.
Post-Spirefall, like, the people suffered during the Spirefall, absolutely, but the land of Hysh itself suffered during the Spirefall quite a bit as well, right? Like, demonic incursion and, like, the spread of chaos, like, wrecks the land. The realms are made of magic.
Yeah.
And so there are vast swaths of Hysh that are still uninhabitable to anything that's not like demonic in nature or
Mhm.
chaos aligned. And so in the after effects of the Spirefall, the Lumineth have fully adopted the moniker of Realm Lords almost as like a reclamation from that original idea of like,
Okay.
this is a thing that belongs to us and we can do with it what we will,
Mhm.
to now a position of stewardship.
I was gonna say,
And,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
like custodial duty,
Mhm.
where it's like, no, we are like the Realm Lords, we are its servants. It's our job to protect and
Right.
nurture and fix and
Yeah.
repair Hysh from
Groundskeeper type.
yes,
Yeah.
the thing we inflicted upon it. We have to
Interesting.
make up for. Yeah, right. It's a good inversion of that initial idea. And again, we're gonna probably not in this episode, probably in the next one, we'll see a little bit how that can still be a dangerous idea. Where sometimes putting the like prioritizing the well-being of Hysh as a whole can like trounce on the individual a little bit,
Mhm.
but overall it's a good shift. It's certainly
Okay,
better
yeah.
than what they were doing pre-Spirefall.
Yes,
right?
it sounds like, yeah.
Let's talk about, so that's kind of the status quo of Lumineth from the jump. I'm going to take a brief detour to talk about Aether Quartz, which is a thing that was super important to Lumineth and has like kind of faded from importance a little bit. And I don't know how much of that is like, ooh, we didn't like this like game mechanically, so we're still going to keep talking about it, but we're not going to make it like a focus in the narrative, or if that is just a genuine attempt to like expand them past something else. I'm working off of a 3rd edition battle tome here, if anyone in the know. So I don't know how that was different in earlier editions, but it still feels important to mention because I know it was like super important to the Lumineth for a long time. Aether Quartz is the realm stone of Hysh. So in the same way that
quartz.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I was hearing like Aether Court, and so I was expecting it to be like these are the various courts of the. And so I was
gotcha.
sort of like, okay, thank you.
Yes,
Quartz.
quartz.
Thank
Yep. Like gravesand in Shyish, or amberbone in Gur, or cyclestone in Gairan. Thank you, dear listener who mentioned that, which is aqua garanis, the like healing medicine water, is distilled from cyclestone. It is not itself the realm stone of Gairan.
So it's even harder to get.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah, cyclestone is the realm stone of Gairan. It's just used to manufacture aqua garanis. That makes more sense.
Interesting. Thank you, dear listener.
Because I always like to joke that like none of them are stones, but like we get cyclestone now, but like amberbone is bones, but whatever. And quartz,
this is quartz.
Yeah, quartz is a rock which works, except it doesn't, because everything on Hysh has to be a puzzle. Everything on Hysh has to be a thing that you figure out. Aether quartz,
like a crossword with the periodic table of elements,
yes.
basically.
Aether quartz is natural, like state, how it exists, like in nature, is as components of beams of light.
Oh god!
Yep. Like Aether quartz is a component of the light that Hysh gives off, and to actually like.
I am so tired just imagining living on Hysh. And I would rather live in the place where the trees want to eat you than the place where you have to solve a goddamn puzzle. And I am an escape room girly,
yes.
but on my own time.
But I wouldn't want to live in an escape room.
I
you know,
have to do
yeah,
an
that's
escape room every day to get to work.
Yeah.
Nah. And I don't get to pick the theme of the escape room.
Yeah. So yes, to actually be like utilized in any meaningful way, Aether quartz has to be distilled from light. Teclis invented the means to do that.
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course he did. And so Aether quartz is captured. It's distilled from like Hysh's natural light.
Do you run it through a prism, or like what does that mean?
Yeah, it's like a prism sieve situation is most of what I understand, with lots of magic involved.
What's a sieve?
Or a sieve, I guess is the more common pronunciation.
What is that?
The thing that you put flour through.
Okay. I think I definitely say shift. And that's probably not right.
It might be.
Sifter.
It's sifter, yeah.
Yeah.
Sieve is just a more broad term.
That makes sense.
You can also sieve like, or sieve. I never know how to.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a regional pronunciation or if I just read more than I talk. But you can also do it's just anytime you're separating like a smaller thing from a bigger thing with like a wireframe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got that's the sound it makes in my head.
Yeah.
Tap the
Because
side
you're
and
tapping
the flour
it to get
comes
the
raining
flour.
down.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you have to like sieve it with like magical implements and whatnot through like prisms and stuff, and
I would rather picture Teclis just doing a little wire thing and just
I mean, yeah.
but it's like made of glass.
Also good, yeah. Yes, distilled using techniques Teclis developed, which refine it into, direct quote, esoterical symmetrical sigils. So that's what it comes out as once you have sieved it.
So it's not the Aether Quartz yet.
No. I mean, that is the like physical form of Aether Quartz. It just, in the same way that like, you know how like when a diamond naturally forms, it's just like a rough bundle of nothing and then you have to like cut it to be a certain shape.
The pretty, okay.
Yeah. Aether Quartz comes out as like symmetrical sigils because symmetry, because duality, because Hysh, because elves.
It's so unnerving. I'm like, I get this is magic. I understand why this is happening. I'm going to go back to the place where the trees will eat you.
Aether Quartz is fashioned into all sorts of like Lumineth implements and tools and all sorts of different stuff. But its most pervasive thing is that it's fashioned into Lumineth war gear. They put it on their armor. They put it on their weapons. Because of the ways in which it is used, it is usually most beneficial in like as like a momentary thing. Long-term Aether Quartz usage can be addictive, so you don't want it to be like an everyday thing.
Okay.
You want it in like crisis times, which makes sense as why it's like a war thing. Expending like the power inside Aether Quartz augments the Lumineth's natural abilities. It just like hypercharges their innate capabilities. That means something different for every Lumineth. But usually they are able to refine it in such a way that it works with what that Lumineth is intended to do. Cool. I know in like previous versions of the game, if you had your block of like frontline spear elves, you could have them burn their Aether Quartz on a turn to give them a better like defensive save because they like stance up better and like hold their shields at the right positions. Yep. You can have a wizard burn their Aether Quartz to get better at casting a spell that turn. But the downside of that is that when you do that, the Aether Quartz siphons off the negative emotions from you, which sounds good.
No, sounds bad.
It siphons off your
I've seen Inside Out. I know the importance of all emotions.
Yes. The Aether Quartz siphons off negative emotions and it stores them.
What does that mean?
The book calls it volatile psychological waste.
What?
Yeah. Like I said, in previous editions of the army book, like, and I think this is.
Oh, right.
Like
you were saying this is like less of a thing now.
Yeah,
okay.
they moved away from this like mechanically. I don't know how much it still shows up in like Lumineth stories and stuff.
Okay.
But like in game terms, what used to happen is like, oh yes, this turn we will expend our Aether Quartz and we'll be much better at like blocking attacks and stuff. And then for the rest of the game, we have a lower like morale score, because that negative emotion like waste in our Aether Quartz that's like embedded into our armor and stuff is just like seeping that like dread back into us.
You're gonna like really for this one moment you're gonna lock in and it's gonna be great, and then how bummed out about your breakup, that's gonna be all you can think about for the rest of this literal war fight.
Yes, but then
I mean,
might
probably
win.
Not that specifically.
No,
but
I mean maybe. Yeah,
maybe. It depends on what they're dealing with back home.
Yes, yeah. The waste leaks negative emotion, which under ideal conditions is just like can make you a little sad, but can be very devastating in like a volatile war situation, right? Yeah. Like being off your game
can't be off your game.
No, is bad. And so there's like whole in the like Lumineth colleges of war and stuff, there are whole tactical like lessons taught to Lumineth generals of the like here's when it is most advantageous to have your troops like use their Aether Quartz to minimize the effects of the like psychological downsides type stuff, right? Like everything within Lumineth, like I said, they live on Hysh. It's all about that like perfection. Like it won't matter if my troops like get sad afterwards if in that moment we win the battle, right?
I mean, you'll be way more sad if you die.
Correct. Absolutely correct. And then, Aether Quartz can also be addictive in the way...
Because listen, even if you die, it's not over. Because then you're going to go to the death plane
and
fucking Nagash runs it.
Yes.
So you're not going to go to whatever afterlife you thought you were going to have. So it'll be way more sad if you die.
Yes. And therefore, Aether Quartz. And then, Aether Quartz can be addictive in its use. It doesn't seem like in a particularly like chemical way, just in the same way that anything like that gives you a rush can be, right? Like you just don't want to overuse Aether Quartz because then you won't know how to live without it, right? In the same way that like a lot of things that aren't explicitly like chemical
social
added.
media.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Aether Quartz is posting on Twitter.
No, God, Aether Quartz is doom scrolling.
Oh no. But yeah, that's all I have written about Aether Quartz. Like I said, it's probably more impactful in previous editions, but they like changed the mechanics of how like a Lumineth army works in this edition, and so I think it's been like understated in the narrative. But so it goes.
Okay.
So let's talk about duality.
Yes.
I've talked about it a little bit before, but all of Lumineth society is split into, technically it's a trinity, but not really.
Okay.
Because it's like a duality, and then there's also this other thing over here that also kind of runs throughout all of it. I guess it's more like a yin yang, right?
Okay, yeah.
Where it has the two distinct components. Each of them also contain parts of each other, and then the important part is that it is one whole, right? And so Lumineth society, I'll talk about the nations just briefly. We're not going to go into detail with them, but it's important to note. The actual plane of Hysh is split into 10 chunks. Those are the 10 great nations of Hysh.
Are they even?
No. Most of them are, but 2 are the exception.
Ooh, okay.
There's a big central nation, which is either called, because I have it in my notes, but I don't have the details.
Oh!
Because that's the part I have of these notes I haven't written yet, which is either called, I think the central one is Hysh,
okay.
which is the only place where non-elves and Hysh live, because it's the most stable, and it's where, like I said, the city of Settlers Gain
so right
is. Right in the middle. Zintil is the outer ring of Hysh.
Oh, yeah.
Which is uninhabitable.
Nope,
because it's the outer ring of Hysh, and then the rest of Hysh is 8 equally sized slices.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's literally just like pizza slices around the central.
I was going to be like a clock.
Yes, yeah. Clock is an excellent metaphor. Those are the, quote, 10 great nations of Hysh.
Why are they quote?
Because there's only 9 that have anyone living on them.
Okay, yeah.
But the remaining 8 are evenly split. We're talking about duality, evenly split between Teclian nations and Tyronic nations. As in Tyrion.
Yeah.
Which each of those influence the way that those nations operate within like the larger Hyshian society. So what's it mean to be Teclian or Tyronic? So Tyronic nations have a focus on decisiveness and courage. That's the big, like, again, we are the nations of Star Quarterback, right? Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Explorers, athletes, warriors, people whose physical prowess and courage serves themselves and their communities well. That's the important part. It's not about me, it's about what...
So the team.
Yes, is what we can contribute to the whole. Tyronic nations are often symbolized by the sun and represent Tyrion and his title as the point to the Phoenix thing. Tyrion's formal title is the Lord Phoenix. So yeah, almost certainly. And he, like, in the old world, he was next in line to be the Phoenix King, which is what the high elf ruler was called, right? In a military capacity, so the models you see on the table, the Tyronic side of an army is the Venari. Venari are skilled swords masters and commanders. That's like their core bread and butter. They make up both the kind of rank and file troop, where you're spears and your archers and stuff, just the base building blocks of a classical army, but also the, like I said, commanders, military minds, like generals, people who do have to think hard and long about things, but are doing so in specifically a like action focused way, where it's military science and like battle philosophy are also part of the like Tyronic side of military stuff. The Venari also train the most skilled sword masters in all the realms, hypothetically.
Hypothetically?
There's always going to be variants, but Venari sword masters are elevated as the greatest swords masters in all the realms. But, you know, it's hard to say that conclusively when they exist in the same world as like Chaos Chosen.
I imagine they have a Chaos Chosen just has some extra perks going on there.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Or like Sigvald, who's probably the best duelist alive. He's a Slaneshi like champion. Perfection is an aspect of Slanesh.
That would be really hard.
But they do have, like, they have some cool, like, I know in previous editions, I don't know if they do it in this edition, but I know in previous editions, Venari Swordmaster's thing was that they could either, like, hit you normally with their attacks, or they could do what's called a perfect strike, where you just roll one attack for each of them, and if it hits, it completely bypasses your armor.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, right? So they are very good swordsmen. I don't want to minimize that. But yeah, that's kind of, like I said, Tyrion's thing is activeness and what can be done in the moment, basically. Like, even when it is, like, philosophical, even when it's thinking, everyone's thinking in Lumineth all the time. It is action focused. It's also, I want to address this because we're going to talk about the Teclian nations, which are also where like a lot of our wizards come from. But basically all Lumineth are capable of some magic. That's just an elf thing and a Hysh thing. Yeah. Again, in previous editions of the game, even your like rank and file spear troops would be casting spells to improve their shields or improve their blades or what have you. But so that's the, like I said, that's the yin yang thing a little bit, where the Tyrion side is aggressive and melee in like the physical world, but it contains aspects of the ephemeral. And so naturally the Teclian side is the opposite of that, the mirror of that. Teclian nations are focused on reflection, refinement, and deliberation. Also, all the nations are physically split one side and the other. They're not like pie-pieced together. I don't know why. But like the Teclian hemisphere is how it's referred to.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely. I was definitely picturing them as alternating pie pieces,
right.
Which is crazy. Obviously, it wouldn't be that.
I mean, I feel like that would be more thematically appropriate because it's like
balance.
Balance, exactly.
Balance.
Yeah.
All right, fine, everything's whatever. Fine, it's fine.
The hemisphere of great philosophers, craftsmen, and sorcerers. Grand universities and temples dot the Teclian nations, and they've taken the lead on soothing the like land of Hysh. They're represented by the moon, naturally, both as a contrast between Tyrion as the Lord Phoenix, and also because Teclis is literally best friends with the moon, right?
I was like in one hand, it's like, the Phoenix, it's like sun, because fire, and I'm like, also, we always do that with Phoenixes, because fire and the sun, and like, that makes sense, but we don't inherently have to.
Yeah.
Like, the opposite doesn't have to be the moon.
Right.
But if Teclis's best friend is the moon, then yes, obviously we have to.
Yes. It's also worth noting, like in the same way that Tyrion was like next in line for the throne of the Phoenix King in the old world, Teclis has long been associated with moons. He had a big moon on his hat in the old world. So this is
on his hat, you say?
Yes, this is theming that we have brought forward.
All
else, I don't know if I've talked about.
I am just picturing Stolas' top hat, but instead of a crown motif, it's got a big like crescent moon on it.
It is a little pointy. I'm sure I've talked about this in previous episodes. Warhammer Fantasy elves have tall pointy hats.
They do have tall. Yes, I have. I do recall the tall pointy hats.
Yes, because in the early days of Warhammer, when you were sculpting a person, the fine detail you would have needed for pointy ears was undoable, and so instead
we didn't have the technology.
Yes, and so instead, this is an elf because he has a tall hat. That's Teclis pre-godhood. He's got a moon on his hat.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really long, skinny crescent moon that just looks like a spooky, like scythe axe.
Yeah,
thing.
But he's best friends with the moon, Selenar, the moon spirit.
Not to be confused with Yue, the moon spirit.
Yeah, he's a sphinx. In war, the Teclian nations are represented by the Cenari. The Cenari are the counterpart to the Venari. The Cenari are your battle mages. Yes. Like I said, almost all elves can do magic. Anyone whose job is to do magic is a military capacity is a Cenari. So you have your Cenari Enlighteners, you have your Cenari Enchanters, you have your Cenari Cathalars. Like elves tend to study like all the kind of like different branches of magic. They live for a long time. In the old world, that was Teclis' thing, is that he knew every lore of magic.
God damn it.
Yep. And so, but in wartime, you want a mage who is specialized into like a type of magic. And so that's what we see in the Cenari cast.
That's why we have specialists, period, in general.
Yes, exactly.
Like, hey, listen, a doctor can help you with a lot of things, but if you're having really serious heart problems, you probably want a cardiologist.
Yes. And it also speaks to that shift we see post-Spirefall, because pre-Spirefall, a Lumineth mage would try and like know a little bit about a lot of different things of magic and like jack of all trades. And now specialization is a thing that inherently leads to like collectivism. It's a thing that inherently leads to cooperation, because a specialist does the thing that they do very, very well, but they need other people for other things.
I think it's also like, that's so interesting, because I could have seen it going the other way, where once upon a time when they were very individualistic, they would just focus on their thing. Right. And like not acknowledge that they didn't know all the things.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. Like I said, it's an interesting...
Tech billionaires.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. There's probably some of that too, where they just try to enforce oh, no, sorry. I know fire magic really well, which means I can use it to solve starvation.
There it is. Yep.
I know one thing super good, and that means I know everything super good, and I'm a hyper genius, and give me all your money. Yeah.
And I don't need you. No one else could teach me anything. I could do whatever I want.
Yeah. Specifically, I want to capitalize that these Scenari are mages who are specialized, but they are specialized into the art of magic as a like pure form. They are not, who we're going to talk about last, are like third big group that makes up Lumineth society, which are the elementary caste.
Okay.
Scenari are, like I said, they're doing magic as like a specialized almost tech thing. The elementari are closer to a priestly caste.
Okay, interesting. And they're the biggest one, you said?
They are the biggest by virtue of being woven into everything else.
Oh, okay.
Like the elementari do not have any nations. They come from like either Tyronic or Teclian like societies, but they operate as their own like third thing, right?
Hey, how does one become one of them? Like, are you just born into the Teclian, and that's just
Teclian,
what you
Tyronic?
are?
Yeah, it's your nation. You can move if you want to, but generally you're just born into your nation.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask, like, is it a big deal if someone is like, my family's 5th-generation Teclian, you can't, or is it just like, go do the thing that you are, like called to?
There's all the normal, like, social implications of that, but it's not like it's not like, oh, you were
There's
born...
not, like, laws.
No, you were born to a Teclian nation, so you're always going to be Teclian. It's like, well, I was born to a Teclian nation, but I really enjoy swordcraft, so I moved to Huron. No, Huron's the bow one. It's fine.
I like bowcraft, so I moved to Huron.
Yeah. Like I said, so there is, like, implication that comes with that, especially
like your family might give you a hard time about it.
Yeah,
You
your family...
disappointed them, but there's not, like, a legal...
No.
Okay.
Or people might treat you differently, especially when it gets to, like I said, we're not going to talk about them today, but like one of the Teclian nations is Sayar, which is the like craftsworks nation. It said that a Ciari craftsman could make anything in existence given the right materials and time.
Cool.
Yeah, right. But during the spirefall, like Ciari inventions caused some of the most damage.
Less cool.
Like Ciar is mostly a magically inhospitable wasteland where like sentient like spells like hunt people like wild animals, and like canyons filled with teeth made of glass like migrate across the wasteland. Like the kind of
wake up, new place where I wouldn't want to live just dropped.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in this place where the magic tries to kill you?
It's like it's all of the implications
that's too vague.
from
magic tries to hunt you?
Yeah,
that's more specific to the vibe.
CR is
where the glass roams the plain.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would stop you from like migrating to or from CR, but if like you were CR born and you were raised in CR and then you and then you like moved to a different nation, you might get weird looks. You might get people who are like, oh, I don't know if I can trust you with this thing because of like what I know about CR and the role they play.
There's like social implications that would be like recognizable as like a vibe you might find anywhere in a human place, but there's not like this hard and fast structures that are like deeply rigid in like the like board everyone expectations. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Think of it with the same timbre as like meeting someone from Philadelphia for the first time and like all of the baggage that comes with like,
you've been to the Liberty Bell or what?
Yeah, things I assume about Philadelphia, right? Like,
hey, Philly!
Rocky, etc.
It's okay for from Idaho. Y'all can... Listen, you are from Philadelphia. You may also make jokes to us in the comments regarding Idaho. No one else is allowed to.
We're dropping a giant potato in front of the Capitol tonight. Like
a giant potato in front of the Capitol tonight as of the recording.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's a social thing. It's a like national thing, but it's not like a hard line thing for sure.
Okay, cool.
And there's a lot of like intermoving between, like I said, Hyshian nations, where like it's a prestigious thing if you are like a well-to-do like Hyshian family to be like, oh yes, our oldest is a general in the like Venari who trained in Huron, which is the only Teclian nation or Tyrionic nation I can think of off the top of my head for some reason.
That's what we're just gonna stick to.
Yeah. Similarly, like whatever weird looks you might get from being from Sayar, like having the skill to like move there to work, like is also a point of pride because Sayar still does like make these incredible like magical wonders, right? Like But like I said, we'll talk more about the Teclian nations next episode because they're neat. But doing them justice needs its own episode. So instead, we're going to, or third like big thing that, like I said, intersperses all the rest of it, and that we're going to finish the episode on. Are the
oh my god, is this a short episode?
It's going to be a little bit short. This is going to take a while because
Okay.
the elementary are their own whole thing.
Folks looking at them.
Yeah.
It's an hour, bitches. What do you mean? You know what we mean.
This is almost certainly I'm probably going to spend 40 more minutes just talking about the elementary. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Never mind.
Yeah. The elementary are the religious caste. We've talked briefly a little bit before about how, like, in a gameplay terminology and in like a lore terminology, the difference between someone who is a wizard and someone who is a priest can be pretty woobly. Like orcs have both wizards and priests and both commune with their god. Mm-hmm. Skaven have both wizards and priests, and their wizards are the Greyseers, who are the true prophets of their god, and their priests are a fringe cult, right? Like the dividing line there is more about how you interact with your religion than it is about religion itself. The Lumineth are puzzle solvers. They are dedicated to like deep thoughts and the kind of things that accompany that. And so their priestly caste are all wizards. The elementary are, like I said, they're a religious caste. They are the most dedicated to the rejuvenation of the realm. They are your like soothers of the land. They are communing with the spirits. They are guiding the realm back into a state of like health by meeting it where it is and trying to embody it. And that takes a couple of different forms based on what part of the realm they're trying to embody. By which I mean it's Avatar time. Spoilers, both of them.
Hey, whoa, twist.
Mostly just because the other one has started to look more like the good one as time has gone on.
It really has.
Sorry if you like the Avatar movies, but
and it's
like,
fine. Listen,
yeah, no, they look phenomenal.
I also
yeah.
enjoy seeing the Avatar movies.
Yeah.
But I walked out of that movie being like, hey, there was a chunk of that felt exactly like the second movie. And also, does the film know that Jake Sully is a bad parent? I don't know if it does.
Very important. It's very important that the movie know that.
It's not bad if he is. It's just important to me that the movie knows and is doing it intentionally. And I don't think it is. And that's a problem. Also, everything else that's a problem about Avatar also here. Yeah, but moving on.
There are 4 elementary disciplines.
Of course there are.
Say it with me now. Mountain, wind.
What the fuck?
No, it jump scares you a little bit because they are vaguely elementally aligned, but they're more about the geography of Hysh, right?
Okay, there we go. So it's mountain, wind,
river.
Okay, I was gonna say sea.
Yep.
What would the volcano?
Zenith is our weird one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was my second guess.
Zenith is our weird one. Zenith is like space and like light and essence. It's like a
what does
wild card. Like top.
Yes. Okay. Like the zenith of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the sky, the stars, like kind of the astral bodies.
Okay.
Is
like
our
they could have used astral.
One. Yeah.
But we selected zenith instead.
Correct.
To make me specifically mad. Okay. Mountain, wind, river,
and zenith. Yes.
No, I'm still mad. I thought maybe if I list them all together, I'd be less mad. But I actually am mad that it's zenith and not like motherfucking sky.
Yeah. No, sky I think would have been better, especially because the other ones have such normal names.
They're just a thing. They're a thing you can like touch. Like
yes.
You can't touch the sky, but you know what I mean, dear
listener.
listener.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Like, I don't know. I have a suspicion. I'm going to talk about my suspicion.
Okay.
So in addition to, because like these things are called by the things that they are. Like,
firmament. It could have been firmament.
Yeah, right. The Lumineth of the like mountain temples, the Lumineth of the wind temples. Like we use those names for them, but within that they also have like their like temple names. The river temples are called the Idrilin. The mountain temples are called Alarith, but Zenith doesn't have that yet. And so if I had to guess, it's because we don't have any like models. We don't have any faction stuff associated with Zenith yet. If I had to guess, once we get like that, Zenith will become the temple name, and it will be like the sky temples or something of that nature.
Wait, what? Wait,
yeah,
what? Why? No, why? What?
I that's my guess because Zenith is like the odd one out.
That's so crazy. Yeah,
but I don't know if that's
those
true.
Those other 2 words are cumbersome and crazy.
Yes.
Are those made up words or do they mean things?
They're made up words. They're Elvish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas again, Zenith is a word that
Zenith's
means a
just
thing
a real word.
in the English language.
Zenith, it might also be on purpose. Like Zenith is the odd one out. It represents like the astral. It represents like magic and kind of the essence that ties things together.
Astral,
like, yeah,
firmament, sky. Like no, I no, bad. I hate this.
And so the role of the elementary cast is twofold because they tend the physical thing that they represent, right? But they also commune with and tend to the spirits that are representative of those things. And that is on a very individualistic level, right? Like you do not have an Alarith temple of mountains broadly. You have an Alarith temple of this mountain. And you have a like Alarith stone mage of this mountain and the stone guard of this mountain because they're individuals.
Okay.
Right.
It's not an interconnected vibe.
No.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's still community there. Like the Alarith are like a collective organization, but the relationships you're building up with these elements of like the natural world of Hysh are relationships. They're not interchangeable.
Yeah, and that's reflective of environments. Like
yes.
every mountain isn't the same.
Yes. You could not take someone from Kilimanjaro and put them in the Rocky Mountains and have them know like the ecology and stuff. Yeah. They'd be able to make really good guesses. Yeah. But they wouldn't have that kind of specialized knowledge because relationship. Yes.
So I remember the first time I saw the Sawtooth Mountains, which are in the state of Idaho where I live. And they were shocking to perceive because they are so different than the Rocky Mountains. Yes. Also in the state of Idaho, but closer to where I live. Yes. I literally see the Rockies every day of my goddamn life. Yes. And the Sawtooths or what's the mountain in Washington when you fly into Seattle? That one.
I'm not good with my Washington geography.
Whatever that one is also is like, whoa.
Yes.
Mountain.
Yes.
You go to the East Coast and they're like mountain and you're just like hill.
Hill. Yeah.
I tripped over this on my way up.
Yes. Listen.
All right, East Coasters, now you can make now you've gotten it. Not just Philadelphia, we brought it to the East Coast.
I was gonna say, you can't get us on mountains. Ours are better. Like,
ours are better.
It's just true.
You can pick something else to make fun of us for. Cities,
exactly,
I bet, probably.
Exactly. West Virginia, you can hang, but that's
Virginia, you can hang.
But yeah, so like I said, the elementary they tend for the environment and they tend for the spirits, and they are trying to make amends for the things that happened during the spirefall, and also build up the relationship there so that similar things can't happen again. It's a two-way street where the elementary are caring for and tending nature, and they're also learning from the spirits and are trusting the spirits to guide them and direct them in their like care of the realms. So, and that splits up into our temples. Zenith, like I said, we know Zenith has like temples, but because it's like so ephemeral, because it's like space, you can't put a temple in space. It's a lot of like theoretical stuff. We don't have a great idea of what Zenith's spirits are like, except for Selenar. Selenar's the moon, right? Like, and so Selenar is a Zenith spirit, but he's basically our only example.
Interesting.
But he's very ephemeral. He's like not a natural animal. He's a sphinx, which is uncommon for like elementary spirits. From what we understand, they tend to take more animalistic forms, which a sphinx is animal-like, but it's very clearly like a mythical thing.
Yes.
It has the face of a person, right? Like,
yeah.
Yep. And fittingly, Selenar is very high-minded, thinks in like centuries instead of like minutes, like has all of these crazy answers about the mysteries of the universe and stuff. There's a whole bit in Teclis' like home nation on Hysh is like the big study, like college, like the whole nation is just like one big university type thing.
Of course.
And Teclis tries to not let it get to him that everyone just wants to come talk to Selenar about magic stuff instead of
good.
The specific. This is too good not to mention this episode. The specific line that it gives is that Teclis manages to keep a straight face despite his disappointment that everyone just wants to talk to Selenar about magic except for him.
He deserves this.
From everyone except his brother. Because Tyrion could tell that it upsets him and he jabs him a little bit about it. Yeah.
But no, Teclis, you deserve that. Exactly. I want every day you to feel like subpar to the moon, your BFF. Everything you've done, yes, you deserve this.
We're gonna not to spoiler our famous faces a little bit, but we're gonna see the same mentality that swept over the rest of the Lumineth also reflected in Teclis a little bit.
Are you gonna try to trick me into liking Teclis?
We have to start hating Teclis a little bit less on this podcast. We don't have to, but he's making an effort. It's important.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's true. No, we'll talk about it next episode.
We'll talk about it next episode. So we get here.
Yeah.
Listen, even if he makes an effort, part of the making the effort is you deserve to feel a little bit bad.
Also fair. Yep.
But also, I guess if he's not making, like, he's hiding it. He's trying not to, like, be a dick about it. That's also an effort.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
Good. You should have to do that forever.
He's working on it. But yeah, that's Zenith. We don't know a ton about it. Selenar's a Zenith spirit. That's all we got. But
I'm so mad. I'm still, dear listener, checking in, still mad.
The rest I structured in, like, how much we know about them ascending, basically.
Yeah.
So the next one is the river temples. We don't know very much about the river temples because they just started, like, appearing in narrative.
Cool.
But yes, the river temples collectively are called the Idrolin, and all elementary seek to embody the aspect of the thing that they are, like, temple workers for.
Okay.
Idrolin emphasize agility and fortitude.
Like riverboat captains. Like in the bayou riverboats. Sorry.
That would be
go on.
wonderful, but no.
They're like sleek.
Long flowing robes.
Dragonflower.
Yes. Long flowing robes, swiftness, agility, but also fortitude. One of the like final tests for Idrolin, like River Guardian, is to throw yourself into, like, the rapids of the river that you guard, and navigate, like, the stones and shards and bottom of the riverbed without breaking.
Okay, I changed my mind. Not riverboat captain, obvi. These are your whitewater rapids.
I mean,
like,
a little bit.
Thrill,
Yeah.
like, yes.
A little bit.
They're
yes.
the ones that, like, you want to go rafting and you think it's going to be chill, and it's not. You thought you were going to be on a tube, and they brought some fucking kayaks and helmets.
They're an interesting contrast to one that we're going to talk about later, like the Wind Temple types, because the Wind Temple is also, like, renowned for its agility and whatnot. But the Wind Temple is very ephemeral. The wind doesn't stay in a place; it moves, and it is, like, carries, and it changes course and direction and stuff. So the Idrolin emphasize, like I said, agility and also endurance, because
there aren't seas and oceans on Hysh.
There's
it's
the
just
like
rivers.
There's the, like, weird big sea in between the nations.
All right,
but
I
it's
saw
like
that,
a series
like,
of rivers.
It's like
yeah.
rivers. Yeah, I'm sorry. When earlier I said sea and you're like river, and so I'm thinking about, like, why would it be river, and then I'm remembering there aren't any. Sorry, it's because the water in the forest is a river. That's a Doctor Who reference, everybody. And you're listening to it, 2026. Okay, moving on. Get me out of here.
But yeah, river blades. That's, like, all we know about right now, because that's the only unit they have in the game. And that's usually when we get lore about stuff. If you want, you can run some river blades in your Lumineth army.
Cool.
And that's all we got. Hypothetically, they have river mages and, like, kind of the other staples of the other, like, elementary casts. We just don't know anything about them.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But now we'll talk about these two have roughly the same amount of information about them. But we're going to talk about the mountain temples. I like the mountain temples. Oh. I'm a big fan. Surprising no one. We just had a bit where we talked about the East Coast can get at us for not having as cool mountains as we do.
Love mountains. I feel actively a little unnerved when I'm in a place where I don't see mountains.
Correct.
Like
Correct.
When I went to Florida many years ago with my family to go to Disney World, my dad and I were taking a tram from the airport to the rental car place, and I'm sitting by my dad, and I'm just actively looking around thinking, like, I don't, and I know this, it's flat, like, I'm not like, why is it, like, I understand, but it still feels weird, and my dad next to me just says, it's really weird when you don't see any mountains. Like, the same time, we were having the same feeling as we both grew up in mountains.
It's like a geologically significant hug.
Yes. Yes, exactly that. Like, and it's something I feel like I can't articulate to folks who don't get it, right? Like, people who come here, they don't live in mountain place, aren't like, ooh, weird that there is mountain. They're like, cool, that's beautiful. I want to take pictures of mountain. But, like, they don't feel the same thing that I feel when I'm away from mountain.
Yes. So the mountain temples are the Alarith mountain temples, and they emphasize stoicness and unflinching resilience.
Yeah, they do. They're mountains.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be one with the mountain is to be in a powerful way, but not just to be for the sake of being, but to be in order to facilitate the things around you, right? Like, a mountain is not it's not an asteroid. It's not a thing that just exists with nothing of consequence like happening upon it. It's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like more so than any of the other temples, I would argue. The mountain is about the stuff that exists on top of it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the baseline. It's the structure. And in a similar way, the Alarth train to be stoic and resilient, not for stoicism and resilience sake, but because of the things that you can build upon a solid foundation like that, which I think is neat.
Yeah.
Like I said, their endurance is distinct from the Idrolin, who throw themselves into danger to be tested, whereas the Alarth are like enduring in order to give themselves that stable foundation. You cannot live in the rapids, right? But you can like learn to live your life in such a way that you are stable, that you are like resilient in mind and body.
Meditate, and I'm like doing a grounding meditation. Some will be like, I'm a tree, deep roots and stuff, or I'm a mountain.
Yeah. And when that begins to mix with like the innate magic of elves and the like guidance of the spirits and the like connection with their individual mountains, that manifests in like a very magical way, in the same way that like the Idrolin like effortlessly navigating rapid waters, right, does, where an Alarth in meditation can go weeks without food, right? Like they can meditate so deeply and so powerfully that reference you made to like the meditation, like as a tree sink your roots into the earth. An Alarth who is like deeply connected to their mountain can meditate in such a way that they can feel every like crevice and crack along the surface of the mountain. They can feel the like animals moving amidst its like crevasses and like the birds settling on its like peaks and whatnot. And that rips. I'm a big fan
really
of that.
Good.
The final test of an Alarth disciple is to literally be buried alive on the mountain. Yeah.
That rips less.
Yeah, it's spooky.
Yeah.
But those with sufficient determination, sufficient like connection to the mountain will find themselves able to breathe through the stone.
That's very cool.
Those that don't die, and we don't talk about them anymore.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yep.
You weren't tough enough to tough it out on the mountain.
That's the bulk of what it means to be an Alarth. Like Alarth Hearthguard, Alarth Stoneguard are your like military branch of that, or they're just your like guard branch of that, the people who literally like patrol the mountain and keep the temples, who go to war when necessary, specifically to defend their mountain usually, but also when there's a larger call to defend something from chaos generally. And then we have two kind of specialist parts of the Alarth that are more significant when they make an appearance and stuff, basically. The most devoted and in tune of the Alarth are stone mages. Stone mages are Lumineth who personally made that initial connection with a mountain. Not every mountain has like a connection to the Lumineth. Not every mountain spirits are like into that. Like the spirit, I feel like that should be emphasized. The spirits of Hysh remember the spirefall.
Yeah, I'm
they're
sure they're
spirits.
Not, not like jazzed about that.
Yeah, and for everyone that has decided to like take the Lumineth at their word and trust in their actions and see the good that they're doing and decide to help them, there are dozens who haven't because they just think it's going to turn out the same way again, and they've been hurt and they don't want to go through that again. So like I said, for every mountain that's this peaceful serenity because it is like this cooperative thing between the Lumineth and the mountain spirits itself, there are mountains where trying to venture up them will see you cascading rocks and like the ground shifting beneath your feet because the mountain itself does not want you there. So a stone mage is a Lumineth who have like braved a dangerous mountain, braved a mountain that maybe initially did not want that connection, and have not forced, never forced, but have like undergone its endurance, right? Have undergone the trial of putting themselves in a situation where they are like prostrating themselves before the mountain. They are earning the trust of the mountain in order to like help rebuild that relationship and ultimately help heal that mountain. So stone mages are unique to individual mountains. They are the most deeply connected to it. And through that connection, They are some of the most capable. Lithomancer is the term for someone who
Very
does magic
cool
with
name.
earth. Yep.
Yeah.
They're some of the most capable lithomancers in existence. Like a stone mage, even away from their mountain, has a phenomenal control over like rock and stonework. But on their mountain, like
unmatched.
Unbelievable. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Symbiotic, wholly one with each other. The description in the book of like a stone mage making that initial contact, making that initial connection, climbing this dangerous mountain with nothing but their like supplies on their back and singing songs of regret and like expressing the things that they did during the spirefall to hurt this place and the way that they feel about that and how they want to atone for that, all the while braving, like I said, those rock falls and the ground shifting beneath their feet, like soothing the mountain's wounded spirit is how it puts it.
Damn.
It's neat. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, I'm into it. And for our hell yeah factor, other like Alarith associated thing is that because we have the Stone Guard, we have the Stone Mages, and in extremely dire circumstances, sometimes we have the mountain.
We have the mountain?
We have the mountain. So
then why didn't you save this one for last?
Because there's more cool stuff coming. Yeah.
Okay.
When a mountain spirit feels it necessary, or the Lumineth can successfully like kind of coax it into taking an interest in something, mountain spirits are very like docile by their nature because they are mountains. They are
they're a mountain.
Yeah, they're not prone to harsh action, and also they extremely value like symbiosis. They value the sanctity of like the things that live on them and stuff like that. But with the right emphasis, with the right respect paid, and like relationship between the Alarith who tend the mountain and the spirit itself, sometimes either in defense of the mountain specifically or in defense of a larger goal, the spirit itself might march to war alongside the Lumineth.
Fuck yeah.
Spirit cannot manifest in the world of its own volition. And so part of that process is that the Lumineth have to carve it a body to inhabit. That's almost always done out of the stone of the mountain itself. They carve it in the visage of a great bull, and they make sure to incorporate the like symbiotic like nature element of the mountain itself. So an Alarith mountain spirit marching to war is not just this like big construct. I mean, it is that like inhabited by the spirit itself in that moment, but it has like ecosystems on it.
Yeah,
it has its
it's
like
a mountain. It should.
Exactly. It wouldn't be a proper mountain if it wasn't. So now I'm going to turn to the page where these models are to show you, because Alarith spirits of the mountain are awesome. They're one of my favorite models in the whole world, right?
I didn't picture it right.
Right? They're not the like people make a comparison with when we talked about Hellsmiths, right? Hellsmiths carve bulls into a bunch of stuff because the bull is the holy animal of Hysh. But Hellsmith bulls are like short and stocky and they're muscle bound. Like Alarith mountain spirits are, it's not what a bull looks like, it's what a bull is, right? Like it's
like fierce but elegant.
Yes, absolutely. Elegance is a huge aspect of it. You can see the little guys with hammers there. I think you might be on the next page, but there should be one who's sitting on a rock, and that rock is floating. That's the stone mage.
Damn, this guy with two hammers?
Yeah.
Up against a bunch of like demons? That's fucking tight.
He's one of our famous faces. We'll talk about him next episode. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, the Alarith, like I said, rousing a mountain spirit to war is a huge undertaking, both in terms of like labor and in terms of the like implication, right? Like it's usually like a desperate measure to defend the mountain or to defend Hysh, with rare exceptions. Like there were one of the things that made the aftermath of the Necroquake we talked briefly about, when like Nagash invaded Hysh and Teclis was the one who like threw him into space.
Yes, I did. I forgot Teclis did that, and that was pretty good.
Yep. Part of the reason that succeeded is because, unexpected to anyone, like a bunch of mountains of Hysh showed up to help.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. Which rips. Good
That's
job,
so
mountains.
Cool. Good job, mountains.
Big fan. Super cool. But that's the Alarith. That's our mountain temple. There's more stuff about, like I said, tending the mountains, tending the spaces between them and stuff is really what they're focused on. But the last of our great temples we're going to talk about today and end the episode out on are the wind temples. The wind temples are called the Huracan, which is a good name, and they focus on adaptability and speed in the same way that like the Idrilin are focusing on that like resilience and motion and stuff. Adaptability, because you cannot like tame the wind. You can't direct the wind. You can just move with the wind, and you can like still accomplish the things that you want to accomplish while operating within that framework. Yeah. That's why adaptability. And then speed, because fast. Because wind. Yeah. Yep. The spirits of the wind are playful. They're mercurial. They're impossible to direct or predict. And so the temple keepers must learn detachment. Right? Like there's both the adaptability to still accomplish what you want, but also the wisdom to recognize when something that you want can be changed, when something you can want might not be important anymore or as important as you predicted, because the effort involved now would be too much, or because it was never as important as you thought it was just the framework you were operating under. Like those are things that the Huracan I keep wanting to say hurricane, which is intentionally what it's based on. Huracan. That's the kind of thing that the Huracan learn, like living with and studying from the spirits of the wind, right? That playfulness, even that mercurial like existence is to be experienced. That's why things exist, is so that they can happen, right? Yeah. Huracan temples are great floating structures loosely attached to the walls of canyons or crevices where they can float freely. They still want to have like physical locations so that people can visit them and like the temple keepers can live there and stuff. Yeah. But they're always
you need like a mailing address.
Yeah, exactly. They're always constructed in a way though that they like hang in the air and like float above like the actual landscape and stuff, as surrounded by air as they can be, is the idea. Neophytes must learn to meditate so deeply that it removes their weight to even gain admission to the Huracan temple. Like you're not getting ferried up there. You have to like very airbender style, like remove your detachments from the world to be able to like fly up there, basically. And those who have truly rid themselves of earthly fixations, the final test to be like a high-ranking member of the Huracan temple is to leap from the temple and be caught by the wind on your way to the ground, just to, like I said, be so rid of earthly fixations that the wind itself recognizes you as one of its own. And if you don't, well,
we don't talk about you anymore.
We also buried those other guys. Yeah, exactly. Like,
so the mountain one was way easier because it like pre-buried.
Yeah.
You either come up or you don't.
Yep. Huracan wind chargers, which are part of our like military caste, are masters archers. They use their connection to the wind to guide arrows in flight and have like personal speed. Like they're just very fast to stay out of enemies' hands. They bond with these kangaroo style animals that I always forget the names of. They're like tree leapers or something like that. And I forgot to put in my notes, which is crazy. But they'll ride them into battle, and they're so swift, and they can use their like mastery of air magic to like lift themselves and their like mount, or to, like I said, guide their arrows. Not even like wind magic, because that makes it sound like they're like, ooh, I'm doing the spell to make the wind shape. Their relationship with the wind, right? The synchronicity that comes from that. Like stone mages, elves who bond with wind spirits are called wind mages, and they often it's almost the inverse of the stone mage thing, where a stone mage is like so connected to a particular like mountain that they almost become one with it. A wind spirit is fully, or a wind mage is fully nomadic. They will not have a home temple, and they'll have like a lesser wind spirit that just like fully travels, because that detachment is a big part of what being like a Huracan like elementary is about, right? So they have their lesser wind spirit who's their companion. They nomadically wander the realms. They teach at the other Huracan temples, and they generally do kind of whatever they want, because that's detachment, mercurialness, like the spirit of the wind. Such is their connection to the spirits of the wind that touching the ground tends to make them like disoriented and like give them vertigo. So a lot of them just kind of live on the like cloud conjured by their companion wind spirit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right.
I would too, probably.
Yeah, right. Wind mages also have a reputation within Lumineth as like tricksters and schemers, right?
I can see that, yeah.
They're a little bit like Priest of Hermes, where it's like you do an important role, but the nature of the divinity that you worship is trickstery. It's like non-grounded.
It's that song, Aeolus' song from Epic. I am the wind tossing and turning.
Yeah. But that reputation as tricksters and schemers, whatever like individual Lumineth might be like, think about that. That is a reputation that's still spoken of with reverence. Like the wind has a lot to teach us. Sometimes trickery is a value.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a virtue to be able to think in like oblique ways, right? Which is all that trickery is, right? Like, so yeah, we have the wind chargers, we have the wind mages, and like our friends, the mountain spirits, hurricane spirits can also embody like a carved vessel that the wind mages will make for them. Hurricane spirits of the wind, they can like present more of a physical like self than a mountain spirit can, so you don't have to carve the full thing.
Okay.
You carve a mask for them, and generally you carve a lot of masks, and then the wind spirit will pick the one that they want. And unlike
they're like their options.
Yeah, and then unlike an Alarth spirit, who like you carve them that body to inhabit, and then they inhabit that, and then they usually like walk it back to the mountain when they're done and set it back in and like go back to being a mountain.
I was wondering what happens when they're done.
Yeah. They usually just take, unless it's like destroyed as part of the war effort, then the mountain spirit just goes back to the mountain. But if they do it and it's all good, then they just walk because that's part of their mountain.
Just drop the mask.
Yes, the wind spirit.
They're not going to put that away.
No, the wind spirit just drops the mask, goes away, and a wind spirit will often inhabit multiple masks, like at different times, depending on what it wants to do.
Oh, it's fine. And that's what it's feeling like.
Yeah, and
that
one
is so ADHD coding. It's like I'm done. It stops existing.
Yep,
it's just not there. It's just not there anymore.
And one mask will be used by multiple wind spirits because, again, it's just like, I want to do this one. Wind spirits generally don't have names in contrast to mountain spirits. Yeah. Exactly. With one exception, who's one of our famous faces. Okay. Yeah, so we'll talk about next time. I'll give you his name. He's Severth, Lord of the Seventh Wind, which is a good name. But yeah, like I said, they're ethereal. They the one downside to unlike a mountain spirit who generally doesn't enjoy like inhabiting.
What do they carve the masks out of?
It's like I think they still carve them out of like stone, but it's like a light stone.
Okay, I was trying to imagine, like, is it stone? Is it wood?
It might be
wood. Make it out of clay and kiln it? Like, I'm just curious as to what you make for a wind spirit.
I would almost bet it's wood, just because I could see that. Like, a lot of wind spirits have bows. Like, they enjoy the practice of archery.
Of course they do.
Yeah, right. And so I could see it actually being carved out of wood, especially because the intent is that they're more not disposable, but they're more like ephemeral. It's more temporary, right? Like an Alaris spirit might inhabit the same vessel a dozen times over 1,000 years. Yeah. But a wind spirit's going to do 100 masks over a week, right? If they really want to. The one downside is that, like, whereas an Alarith spirit doesn't enjoy like inhabiting a body, like they understand the intent of it and the purpose of it, and they'll do it willingly on account of like these other things, like contemplative, very like Ents and Lord of the Rings. Hurricane wind spirits do tend to enjoy the like added like power and versatility inhabiting like a mask gives them. So there is always the risk that they'll like do the thing that you carved the mask for. Like they'll have the mask and like, oh, I helped you fight in this battle, and then they will just run away so that they can like prance among the hilltops and like dash between the trees in their newfound like fox body form. Yeah it's a new game to play. It's a new thing. It's a new experience to enjoy. I really
like this. I like this trickster playful element that's so different than what I was expecting. Because again, I'm thinking the air nomads. From Avatar.
Absolutely.
Where it's not like they're not playful. Like they invent games, but like this trickster, this element of mischief.
Yes,
mischief is a big for, but like makes total sense. How many times you walking down the street and the wind just starts to like carry away the thing? You drop a piece of paper and you go to grab it and the wind just takes it off, and you got to check the street so you don't get hit by a car chasing this receipt. Or is it just me? Cool.
But yeah, last thing, just that's the Huracan. I'm just gonna hand you the book now to look at their cool models.
Yeah, I was gone for a minute.
Sorry, we had Darren had to run downstairs for a second, and Cash Dog, who has been banished from the room for barking, did run in immediately and sit on Darian's chair in the recording studio.
You may hear him barking now. Apologies, we can't get that sound out of the background.
Yeah.
Damn, they're tight as hell.
Right. I said you have the wind charger who's riding that like kangaroo deer thing, and he's got his bow. You got a wind mage,
which is on like a cloud.
Yeah, he's riding his little Dragon Ball Z cloud.
It's giving Dragon Ball Z. It's giving Journey to the West.
He's got his like fan in one hand that he uses to commune with the wind.
Avatar Kyoshi. Absolutely.
And then the next page has a bunch of stuff, but also it has Severith specifically, but other wind spirits look like him. So you get the idea. You get the vibe.
That's tight as hell.
Right.
These are great. I'm very into this.
Right. The big like fox wind spirit.
Cantaloupe, kangaroo.
Yeah. Like I said, fast, like nimble animals is like what the wind spirits kind of embody when they manifest. Yeah, the big horns, the fox face. But yeah, like I said, I like the Lumineth. I like their design. I like them as an oft spoken about aspect of Age of Sigmar is that it is like the continuation of the world that was Warhammer Fantasy, and the Lumineth as a successor to High Elves, where they are sharing design elements, but we have baked into their like lore and their establishing lore and stuff the reasons why they're not doing the exact same kind of like proud like masters of the world thing that High Elves were doing, and still letting them express that kind of like cultural fixation and fascination in a unique way is just a huge thing I love about the Lumineth and the way that they are like represented in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
I think the different responses to the spirefall are interesting. We're going to see that more with the nations of Hysh and our like famous faces. I love the like elemental thing, even if Zenith is weird.
You know what? I really liked the mountain and air spirit stuff so much that I'm less angry about Zenith. That's how cool those things were.
And Selenar's very cool, so we're gonna get to see Zenith spirit. We haven't seen a river spirit yet, but I'm hoping.
I was like wondering, but okay.
Hoping someday. There's a beautifully painted Lumineth army that we see at Boise Cup sometime. I don't know the player's name, unfortunately. Sorry about that, but she paints it in these like the cherry blossom, like the trees on the back of the mountain spirits, like cherry blossom petals like falling, and like the Mount Fuji like peaks and stuff.
That's
and
the shit I'm looking
pink
for.
and white, like aesthetic, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. If you know who I'm talking about, please message us because she takes her army around a lot of places, and I always love seeing them at like Boise Cup and whatnot. But
tight,
the elegance, the beauty, the grace, the Lumineth. But that is all for this episode. Like I said, next episode, we're going to be talking about the great nations of Hysh, how each of these individual like societies have responded to the spirefall, how they've taken the teachings of Teclis and Tyrion and integrated into their belief systems to atone for this like thing that they did, and how the like elementary run throughout those societies. Like some nations have a bigger presence of like certain elementary elementary temples and stuff. And also talking about our famous faces. We got Teclis, we got Tyrion, we got Avenor, or I don't know what his name is. The big mountain spirit, and Severith, the big wind spirit, and there's genuinely like 8 of them. It's crazy. But that's why we're getting a second episode.
Nice.
Atharion's back, etc. But that's all for next episode. Thank you again for being with us for this episode. Thank you for greeting us coming back from hiatus, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and New Year, since it's the first time we're speaking to you since then. But,
thanks for joining us into the new year.
Until then, though, I've been your Sonari Enlightener, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian Smart. And for the new year, you should celebrate with something made of apples. Well, mostly apples.
Take care.
Bye.